The destruction of America's middle class is not something we discuss lightly. This is an accelerating trend, one that touches all of our lives directly, no matter what income category you're in, educational background, or political affiliation. This trend will alter your own job, business, and everyone around you. 76% of Americans right now are living paycheck to paycheck, according to the new survey by Bankrate.com. According to the same survey, 27% of Americans have no savings at all. This survey confirms the shocking CashNet USA survey from last month that found 46% of Americans have less than $800 in savings. Food stamps are the modern-day breadline, and since 2000 they have risen dramatically. Sadly, 2013 is now approaching 50 million Americans. That is 1 in 6 Americans receiving government aid in order to eat, and almost 50% of them have jobs. This is an important note because the jobs that are being created are low-paying jobs. We lost good jobs in 2008, and we are replacing them with temporary, low-paying positions. Most know by now that Walmart is the largest employer, but did you know that the second largest employer in the US is Kelly Services, a temporary work provider, aka a temp agency? The latest jobs numbers are showing part-time employment to be at an all-time high, while full-time jobs are actually decreasing. For June 2013, we lost 240,000 full-time jobs from the official employment numbers. For those of you that think a political fix, like a new president, would put us right back on track, you are dead wrong. There are about 25 million people who are either unemployed or underemployed. This does not include adults in college who will inevitably be looking for work. During the 1990s boom, when we had a wave of baby boomers peaking in their spending habits and communications revolution with the internet, that decade saw roughly 22 million jobs created. This means that even if you have a repeat of the 1990s, you couldn't absorb all the people who need jobs today. We live in a failed fiscal state. The United States situation is chronic. All of this talk about austerity or stimulus is nonsense. It's over. There is no fixing this mess. We are looking at either a planned reset or a reset that will arise from the ashes of an economic disaster. The US annual deficit is so bad that even if we cut out all government except entitlements, we would still run a deficit. Cut the military, all US federal workers, even Congress, and you are still in the red. The US debt is now growing exponentially, increasing $10 trillion in the past 10 years. Compare that to the entire world where debt has only doubled in the past 10 years to 190 trillion. I know it's still bad, but it's like OMG bad when you look at the US. We are now in a situation where the global economies depend on an unsustainable amount of debt. For example, think of all the federal workers and federal programs that we have to borrow money for in order to keep them funded. Well, if you lay out those federal workers or end these federal programs, what do you think will happen to the fraudulent economy? We are not advocating to keep the fraud going. We're just pointing out that we are so deep into the fraud now that the fraud has become normal. So when it all ends, it is going to end badly. Every business will be affected. Our economy has ballooned itself off of endless borrowing. Our plan of action, income and education. This is how you will survive and prosper over the next 20 years as the middle class is destroyed. This is your future we are talking about. You need to be ahead of the curve. Find ways to create multiple sources of income. Real estate rental income, a new business, day trading, online sales, or strategic investments. Starting something yourself now while we still have some normalcy will give you the experience you will need when times are tough. Increasing your education in business, trade, real estate, and how to invest. Financial education will help you get through the financial mess. Please do not waste your time or money on getting another degree. When we hear people talking about going back to school, we cringe, especially if they are over 30 years old. Come on, get on with it already. No need to kill your limited free time on Earth in some classroom with an instructor teaching you out of a book. If you want to learn, go partner with someone who is doing what you want to do. Learn from them directly. Work for free or at a discounted rate to get educated. But don't get into debt for some piece of paper. Being self-aware of this systemic problem already gives you an edge. Now you just need to really think about how this will affect your life. Some simple words of advice. Pay off debt and limit your liabilities. If you have to sell your house and buy a smaller, cheaper one that you can pay off, do it. Don't have an auto loan. Seriously, it is just a vehicle. Don't slave away or take unnecessary funds for a vehicle when you could be investing in a business that will make you financially free. Get rid of any unnecessary payments in your life. The middle class is one crisis away from broke. The destruction of the middle class thus far has been slow, but we are now at the point where it will happen almost overnight. Remember, 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and nearly 50% have less than $800 in their savings account. Things are about to change in the USA. With the right steps and choices, you can be the person to rise up financially. Today is the day and you are the person. Go to futuremoneytrends.com/prepare and receive 2 extra income ideas just for signing up after watching this video. These are realistic, actionable, easy to do ideas on how you can start earning extra income today. Together we will not only survive, but we will thrive and prosper during these unprecedented times.